You're muted, Don.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you guys? Thank you for joining us on Hot Topics. 10 a.m., a little bit late. I have good reason, and I hope you're okay with it. So my apologies. But let me say, I'm serious, okay? Think about this. Would you get on a plane right now? Would you get on a plane right now? I've been thinking about this. I have to travel soon, and I'm wondering, can you drive to Los Angeles? I'm kidding. But I'm wondering, am I going to drive? What am I going to do? I've always had a very healthy, shall we say, respect for flying. And now I just don't know. I mean, you tell me. Am I just being overly concerned? Am I being a fraidy cat? Someone in the chat says take Amtrak, but you remember what happened to Amtrak a couple of years ago too? Excuse me, drive. Well, I'm going to show you some driving stuff today that's a little bit scary too. I don't know. What do you do? Look, I think look about driving in trains. I'm cool with that, but I am. Let's just say I don't want to say deadly, right? Hella serious about these airplanes. If you look at some of the videos of what's happening, it's concerning to say the least. I mean, what do you guys think? Tell me, where are you streaming from? Good morning. I'm going to send you something, guys. And whatever else. I'm texting. Whatever else you can get quickly. No, I'm serious. Someone said prayer. Someone has Psalms in there. Yeah. Yes. As we get a little bit revved up here, I asked the producers to give me something because I just want to show you examples of things. This is what I'm concerned about. And the question is, now imagine, we had this discussion this morning. Imagine if this was happening on Joe Biden's watch, what they would be saying. They're already saying it's Pete Buttigieg's fault. And remember when Pete Buttigieg was transportation secretary, this shit didn't happen. So the Republicans will do anything to blame folks. They're very good at messaging. And I want to know, should the Democrats be saying, hey, look, this is Republicans and MAGA to blame for all of these planes falling out of the sky? Because you know they would be going to the extreme, and I don't want to say it. Well, this one is not because no one is dead on this one. Thank goodness no one died. It is laughable, Amanda, that they would blame Pete Buttigieg, but they're doing it. So I'm wondering, are Democrats missing an opportunity here to point out the obvious and say, Donald Trump is cutting all of these jobs from the FAA. He's eliminating all these positions. Is he to blame for this? The job stealers in Washington, D.C. Is he to blame for this? Who is? Are they missing an opportunity by saying, you know what they would be saying about Joe Biden, especially if Joe Biden was flying off, doing laps around Daytona 500, while there were, Kentucky was dealing with at least 11 people who died in storms. What is he doing? Oh my gosh, Joe Biden has what? They would be saying, you know what, on his hands. Come on. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about. Come, I'm watching the chat. I'm watching you people. And I think you agree with me. So where is the press conference, Hakeem Jeffries? Where is the press conference, Chuck Schumer? Where is the press conference? For all of that stuff. Where is it? Hey, look, we need to talk about something. We need to discuss what's happening. The folks in Washington who are stealing your jobs are also stealing your safety. Do you think that getting rid of all of these positions, you don't think that has an impact on the safety of the travel, our air travel? When they should be focusing on why these planes are falling out of the sky? They are instead trying to change the name of the Gulf of America. They are rolling around on racetracks. They are flying off to football games. Why? Now, let me just show you what precipitated this. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you the breaking news, but I'm going to do it in a way that the mainstream media is not going to do it to you. They would come on, hey, we have some breaking news. Let me show you the video. Let me just give you just two stark examples. And then I'm going to show you what happened yesterday and why I'm saying what I'm saying. First off, do you guys remember which one was first? Was it Pennsylvania first or was it DC first? I think it was Pennsylvania that happened first. Am I correct?
I think DC was first. DC was on the 29th,
okay.
I believe.
So this is what happened in DC. In DC, this is what happened. And the camera at the Kennedy Center caught it. Look to the bottom right. Look, a helicopter, a military helicopter, and a commercial airplane. Pardon me. Sorry, still getting over a little cold here. And this plane. And then look at that. Right in midair. And then Pennsylvania. This is what happened in Pennsylvania. Look at that. Right out of the sky. That was in Pennsylvania. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to show you. And there have been others. There have been at least 8 since this administration took office. And then tried to blame it on diversity, equity, and inclusion when the administration before them did not have this issue. And then I want to talk about this one. Someone taking a picture of the airplane landing yesterday. Let's hear the audio on that one.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, 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 no.
Let it run again.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, 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 no. Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash into three?
Yeah. He's right.
Oh,
are you seeing this airplane just crashed? It is a Delta plane. Delta, an American company. Can you imagine being on this plane? Well, I'm going to take you there. You don't have to imagine it. Because this young man, who is a professional snowboarder, took video after the plane crashed and everyone on board survived. This is it. Watch.
Drop it. Come on. Don't take your video. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Oh my fucking God. Yo, I was just on this fucking plane. Oh my God. Yo, I was just on this fucking plane. Holy fuck.
Now, look, I would be saying worse than that would be coming out of my mouth. I want you to play it again, Andy, because who has ever been in a situation like this? Wouldn't you be? I would be saying, let it go. I want to hear it. Start it over. Let's hear it from the beginning. From the beginning.
Drop it. Come on. Don't take your video. That's on the way. On the way. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Oh my fucking God. Yo, I was just on this fucking plane. Oh my God. Yo, I was just on this fucking plane. Holy fuck.
Now, I would be saying that and kissing the ground probably and thanking God at the same time. God, forgive my language, but I can't believe it. That is my question, Charm 1208. Charm 1208 says, not going on any plane. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go on any plane, but I got to ask, is it safe to fly? Would you get on an airplane right now? Yes, Bugnita. OMG. Can you even imagine the trauma? Did you see how fast that plane was coming in on the video that I showed you? I don't know what the cause was. I'm sure there are going to be updates today about what exactly happened. And the National Transportation Safety Board investigating. But we have seen through video with our own eyes a plane and a helicopter crashing in midair. How often do you see that? We have seen a plane, a medical plane, fall right out of the sky, crash into the ground, going hundreds of miles an hour in the middle of a city. And now we're witnessing a plane crash in front of our eyes, and as it flips over on the tarmac, and everybody escapes, and you see the plane flipped over. Let's see that plane on its side so people can realize just how, no wonder that young man was saying, I wonder what the other people were saying. They were probably in shock. They were traumatized. Now, let me ask you, I think about this, and I'm only saying this because the folks, everybody survived. You have to read the room. And if people had died, I would be taking a different tack, perhaps. What do you think Republicans would be doing if Joe Biden was president or Kamala Harris was president right now? What do you think they'd be doing? Seriously, what? Good morning, everybody. Don Lemon here. I'm talking to you. Are you awake? Are you, hello? Are you putting on your makeup? What are you doing? Are you listening? People in the back, I'm here. Hello, hi. Anyone? What would they be doing? What would they be doing right now? Who is the leader of the Democratic Party right now? Who is it? Thank you. Whoever in the chat says blaming them, Belinda Medina, thank you. And guess what? They have every right to. I'm not saying, look, they weren't steering the plane. Obviously, they're not air traffic control. They're not the pilot. They're not. But the buck stops with them when you are in that position, whether you like it or not. Who's the leader of the Democratic Party? Where's the press conference? Hello, good morning. I am the leader of the Democratic Party. And I got to say, Right now in the United States of America, I thought I would never say this before, but I would have second thoughts about getting on an airplane right now, especially considering that key personnel and hundreds of people who are attached and have knowledge of our airline industry have been let go, fired by people who are not elected. I hope the American people are paying attention. And the people who are responsible at the top for these job losses and should be focusing every single attention, every waking moment on getting to the bottom of why planes are falling, colliding, and crashing. And yet they are running off to football games and sporting events and racing car events and wasting your taxpayer dollars in the process. And taking laps around arenas. What is going on? I have to do something. Democrats, I hate to criticize you, but they're asleep at the will. WILL, the will to understand the moment that we are in, the will to get out there and push back, the will to have some fucking balls. Asleep at the WILL to understand. That they are going on places and they are standing at the edge of the ocean and screaming into the ocean and no one is listening to them. Why are you going on cable news and doing like rote interviews? If you're going to do it, go on Fox. Go on Fox, go to the Lion's Den and blame the Republicans and say, hey, your folks are in charge and planes are falling out of the sky. What are you doing? What is Donald Trump doing? What are people doing in Washington, D.C.? As much I love MSNBC, we're great friends there, but why are you going on MSNBC? Well, for what? That's your audience. Why are you going there? They already know. Why aren't you on streaming places? Why aren't you honestly on Joe Rogan? Why aren't you going on these places? And at least waking people up. What are you doing? Every single night, I would have a press conference every single night. This is what happened in your country today. What are you doing? Every single night. Oh, wow, the Democrats are having another press conference. Day number such and such of the Trump administration, and look what happened today. This is day number blah, blah, blah of the Trump administration. And we had a plane fall out of the sky or a plane on the thing from an American company. In the meantime, hundreds of FAA employees were just let go hours ago. Hours ago. Who's going to investigate this stuff? Thank you, Kev, the creator. We are on our own, Don. Transportation Secretary sleeping too. He's hiding. And just yesterday, did you guys get the news? Just yesterday. Find this for me, please, about the FAA and what's the name of Elon Musk's thing, the rocket thing?
SpaceX.
SpaceX is going to take over the FAA. SpaceX is going to take over and advise the FAA. It was in the Washington Post just yesterday. Let me find this. Team from Elon SpaceX to review air traffic control system in the Washington Post. A team from billionaire Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket company will help envision ways to overhaul the nation's aging air traffic control systems, beginning with a visit to the Federal Aviation Administration's Command Center Monday, Transportation Secretary Sean P. Duffy said. SpaceX rockets are regulated by the FAA, and the agency has alleged that that company, you guys don't remember this? This was back in 2024. The FAA has alleged that SpaceX violated safety rules when it launched 2 rockets. And yet SpaceX is going to be advising and taking over parts of the FAA. When the Washington Post asked them about that, I don't know what happened to that suit. $688 million the FAA fined SpaceX. What kind of specialties would they bring to bear? No answer. There was no answer. So now you have DOGE, which is over the Treasury Department and funding and getting rid of jobs, and okay. And then there's the report of all of these Tesla trucks that they're saying they're going to commission. And now the FAA. SpaceX was fined by the FAA for $688 million. I don't know the outcome of that. Where's the press conference, Democrats, last night when that happened? Hey, we had a plane incident. They got rid of FAA employees. The folks who were in charge, what are they doing? And now SpaceX is going to take over the FAA. Chuck Schumer, where are you at? Where are you? Why aren't you out there waving your cane around? Every single night, I would go to the Capitol. Oh, hello, friend, says Elon Musk, $8 million a day. We're going to get into that. Every single night, you should be at the Capitol. Make those reporters work for it. Make them stay. And guess what? Democrats, it's prime time on the news. Don't be a guest sitting there all pretty in your suit. Roll your sleeves up. Go to the Capitol, hold a press conference, make them work. Take over the primetime cable shows. Make the networks break in every single night. What are you doing? I had a whole thing planned. I've gone off on it. What are you doing? Let's get to the Democrats part. We're going to get to that, and then we'll get to we're going to do the show backwards. We're going to flip the show, okay? Andy, producers, we're going to flip the show. We're going to start with Democrats messaging now. What are they doing? Now, you guys, you know how I feel about the right wing media. You know how I feel about Fox News, the propaganda network. This may be the only time in my life that I will ever say this. Hold on. Okay, hold on a second. I can't believe I'm going to say this. This may be the only time in my life that I agree. Oh, I can't say. Maybe the only time in my life that I agree with, gotta say it, with Jesse Waters over on the Fox News, who I didn't really even know that much about. Don needs his tea, says Jajan. I do. This may be the only time that I ever, and I hate to say that I do, but I do agree with him. From the beginning. I want him to hear every single word of what he says because honestly, he's absolutely right. Here it is. Go.
It's not really the same. Dana, we are waging a 21st century information warfare campaign against the left, and they are using tactics from the 1990s. They are holding tiny press conferences, tiny little rallies. They're screaming into the ether on MSNBC. This is what you call top-down command and control. You get your talking points from a newspaper, and you put it on the broadcast network, and then it disappears. What you're seeing on the right is asymmetrical. It's like grassroots guerrilla warfare. Someone says something on social media, Musk retweets it, Rogan podcasts it, Fox broadcasts it, and by the time it reaches everybody, millions of people have seen it. It's free money. And we're actually talking about expressing information. They are suppressing information. If you
Jesse Waters, you are right. Where's the lie? I know it hurt. You guys are probably going to be mad and whatever you got. Well, Debbie Delight 7 says he makes me nauseous. Well, you saw my reaction to that. But is he lying? Did you guys understand what he's saying? Andy, I want you to understand. I'm sorry. I don't mean, I know some of you are eating your breakfast this morning show. Play it again and listen to I just said what Democrats should be doing every single night. I don't mean just holding little press conferences in the middle of the day and people are going to run, nobody cares, and taking some little dumb nugget that Donald Trump does and that they do, and they're going to run with it. And then in the meantime, the Republicans are taking over the FAA. I'm talking about wearing those reporters' asses out every single night, taking over the messaging on cable news every single night. Hold a press conference. Stop going to dinner with your friends or drinks. Get in there and do something. Listen to what Jesse Waters is saying. I hate to say it, but he's right. Listen.
It's not really the same. Dana, we are waging a 21st century information warfare campaign against the left, and they are using tactics from the 1990s. They are holding tiny press conferences, tiny little rallies. They're screaming into the ether on MSNBC. This is what you call top-down command and control. You get your talking points from a newspaper, and you put it on the broadcast network, and then it disappears. What you're seeing on the right is asymmetrical. It's like grassroots guerrilla warfare. Someone says something on social media, Musk retweets it, Rogan podcasts it, Fox broadcasts it, and by the time it reaches everybody, millions of people have seen it. It's free money. And we're actually talking about expressing information. They are suppressing information.
They think it's a game. They think they can say, well, look, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And our fellow people on the right, we need to appeal to their best nature. And I'm going to go on to whoever show and I'm going to sit there and do an interview. 5 people are going to see that interview. Unless you play 3-dimensional chess and you take over the airwaves. Unless you get off of cable, you start going on some streaming shows. Oh my gosh. Guys, do you understand my frustration? Because it's so easy. It's not that hard. If I could beam myself into being a politician without going through all of the crap that you have to do it, and I could become either the Senate majority or minority leader or the Democrats, the speaker. Maybe I should just start a media consulting company to explain to them how to do this, because it ain't that damn hard. This is what, I hate to say it, it's a funny video, but it's the truth. This is what the Democrats are doing right now, pointing out that, oh, well, that's illegal. Duh. Watch. This TikToker has it. Watch.
Newsflash. That's unconstitutional.
Did you see what he said? Put it up again. I just wanted to put it up. This is what Democrats are doing while Donald Trump is passing the You Will Suffer Act. Play it, and you don't have to play the audio. Passing the, however you want to play it. Passing the Democrats on Twitter, every time passes a new version of the You All Will Suffer Act, Democrats are like, oh, and that is unconstitutional. Okay. And what else, Democrats? And they think they've done something. Yes, Shirley, and Andy, play it again with sound, because I think people like this. Seriously, do you recognize this politician?
Newsflash. That's unconstitutional. Newsflash. That's unconstitutional.
Good. And they think they've done something. Seriously. Now, remember, I'm the one who tells you I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, but I think the Democrats now are the only ones that believe in democracy, but they're not doing a very good job of trying to save it. There's another, I believe it's another young man who talks about, oh no, that's a different thing. Okay, so let's go to, I have my issues with, not personal issues, with Stephen A. Smith, because I think he just likes the attention most of the time. He just likes to be loud and bombastic. And oh my gosh, I think Stephen A. says he's running for office of president or something. I don't keep up with it because I often find that he goes off. He's gone off on me when he has no idea what he's talking about. No idea. Just so he could say something and, I don't know, cozy up to the white folks over at the Fox News. Did I stutter? This is Stephen A. Smith talking about democratic messaging. Watch.
Trump is using sports in a really smart way politically. I think he went to college football games and UFC fights during the campaign. He went to the Super Bowl. He did a loop around the track of the Daytona 500 in his limo over the weekend. It feels like he's creating a bond with these audiences that Democrats don't have. And how do you think Democrats can be a part of that conversation? I can't think of anyone who would go to a game, except for Barack Obama going to NBA games because he genuinely loved the sport. But who else?
This is why I'm a candidate.
God.
I don't want to be. And that's why I am one. Because you see, I wouldn't go to the Daytona 500, but I'd have been at the Super Bowl. I'd have been at the hockey All-Star game. I'd have been at NBA All-Star weekend. I'd be at the World Series. I'd be at All-Star weekend for baseball. I'd be at a boxing match. I'd be at a UFC match, et cetera, et cetera. The point is, you're a politician. You're supposed to be able to do what the people want you to do as a politician. You're giving me damning evidence I didn't even think about. I didn't even think about it until you brought it up. I'm going like this. Wait a minute. Aren't they politicians? Isn't it their job to recognize and notice what their constituency finds appealing and cater to that?
If Obama went to the Super Bowl, Fox News would be like, how dare he? This cost $10 million. He put Secret Service there. They would go after him.
Nope. That doesn't work. Here's why. Because Obama's not looking for their vote. He knows he's not getting it. You're talking about the other side and the independents.
Okay, guys. Tommy, okay. But what a ridiculous conversation. Ain't nobody asked Donald Trump to go to any game. It's a stunt. You know what the people want? They want their planes to stop falling out of the sky. They want their grocery prices to go down. They want the price of gas to go down. They want the price of eggs to go down. They're not asking you to go to a fucking Super Bowl. They're not asking you to go to the fucking Daytona. You can message without doing that. You know how you message without doing that? You say, I don't want to go there and disrupt. I don't want to burn American people's money to go to a game. I'm no longer campaigning. I'm in the White House to fix things for you. There are people here. There's a basketball court. Thank you, Barack Obama. We'll have a party and we'll celebrate you watching the NBA All-Star game or whatever it is. You don't have to go to that shit. Stop it. There are times when you have to do that, when you have to campaign. But when you are taking people's jobs and their livelihoods and money out of their pocket, and you are spending their taxpayer dollars to go to the Super Bowl so that you can get a minute on camera for your big, giant fucking ego, nobody asked for that. What a ridiculous conversation. You can message. Oh God. Maybe it was tongue in cheek. Maybe I'm being too hard on them. But I think it was a ridiculous conversation. Do you want to see Donald Trump at the Grammys? Do you want to see Kamala Harris or Joe Biden at the Grammys? No. And I don't want to see him at a football game. And guess what? The folks in that stadium for Daytona, he already has their vote. And whatever he does, if he says, hey, I love you, if he sends a message to the folks at the Daytona 500, he can send a video message. They're going to love him just as much. And ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States sent you a message. Hello, everyone down in Daytona. Donald Trump at the White House. And I would be coming to the game if I was campaigning, but I'm President of the United States and I'm trying to get things right for you. I'm trying to lower those prices of eggs. I'm trying to lower gas prices for you. So you have a great time at Daytona. I will be thinking about you. I love you and thank you for your support and God bless America. What a ridiculous conversation. Talking about 1990s, that was some 1990s shit. That conversation was worse than cable news. Don't get me started here. What are you guys doing? Messaging. I want to show you something that I went on because I have a different perspective now than most people who are in the media, having worked in cable for such a long time, and not just worked in cable, but being at the pinnacle in cable. And now here I am in streaming. This is something that I wrote and I appeared on her podcast for Jen Psaki for MSNBC. The conversation, part of a conversation that they took. What Trump understands about media that Democrats need to embrace. Barack Obama understood the importance of non-traditional media, but no one in the Democratic Party has carried that torch forward. So what they need to do, the folks at Pod Save America and Tommy and whatever, this is not Glozella anymore. You guys don't remember Glozella, right? With the woman in the tub with all the thing. This is not Between Two Ferns. And they know this. They're in this space. This has evolved. This post was part of my digital companion series at Jen Psaki's Blueprint, which is a new podcast, okay? Go up and keep rolling up. Keep scrolling. So, back it up a little bit. Let me read this. Sorry. In the aftermath of the election, Kamala Harris's loss to Donald Trump, much has been said about the Democratic Party's media strategy. For example, Harris received a lot of criticism for not appearing on Joe Rogan's podcast, with some arguing it could have helped the then president make inroads with demographic groups that she ended up losing in November. Keep going. And then Jen Psaki asked me, is that an oversimplification? And I said, I think it's an oversimplification. As a candidate, you can always do more. I don't know that if Harris had done Rogan specifically, she would have beat Trump. But Rogan's podcast is a symbol of a much larger problem with the Democratic Party when it comes to media. Democrats, especially Democratic politicians, I say, are still enamored with the patina of legacy media and the influence they believe it has. They lack an understanding of where the culture is going. This hasn't always been the case. During Barack Obama's presidency, he understood the importance of non-traditional media, but no one in the Democratic Party has carried that torch forward. Let's play some of the audio, please.
Who work at, I'll just put it this way, MSNBC, CNN, CBS, whatever. If you work for Company A, you do things the way Company A does it, right? You become part of that ecosystem. And so I believe that with folks who are in cable news or legacy media are all in their echo chambers. And they're all doing things the way it was done when it worked. And they never sort of sit back and take an assessment of what is really going on. I was forced to do it. And now I'm glad I was forced to do it, because I see now that I was, if you want to be honest, in a dying industry. And I think that doesn't bode well for the country, and it doesn't bode well for politics as well, because the Republicans have figured out how to manipulate that ecosystem and to adapt to that ecosystem.
Okay, so that was part of it. Now listen. She asked me my opinion on traditional legacy media. And I said, look, I don't want to beat up on legacy media, because I believe my former colleagues at CNN are the best in the business. They're very good. MSNBC, same thing. And there is a role for them. So that was what I was saying there. But what I was pointing out in the end is that everyone is going into this ecosystem, Democrats, and they aren't even in the 2000s. I hate to say it, but Jesse Waters is right. You guys may not like it. So check out, put the thing back up again for Jen Psaki's thing, because I think to that point, I think Jen Psaki is one of the best. She has a unique perspective on the media. And this is Jen Psaki's, keep scrolling. This is her podcast, and it's called Blueprint. And my episode was what the Republicans understand that the Democrats don't understand about the media. Blueprint with Jen Psaki. Beware the echo chamber with Don Lemon. So you go to, I listen to it on Apple Podcasts. You can go wherever you get your podcast. And I would urge you to listen to this. She had Jack Schlossberg on the episode before me. It was very good. I think this episode with me is very good. You learn a lot about Democrats, Republicans, and the media. No holds barred. And then she has some other folks coming up. I forget exactly who she has coming up, but it's very interesting guests. And so again, just to let you know, I'm not beating up on legacy media. She asked me my assessment, and that's what the episode was about. So that's what I was responding to. And don't write an article saying Don Lemon slammed CNN, because that's not what it was about. But I am very honest as always, and I tell you what's on my mind, and that's why she had me on. But I will say, someone who's part of cable news, the former White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, her new podcast is the shit. Go download it and check it out. Okay? Now, let's talk about the people who are taking money out of your pockets. Let's talk about the folks, you know that old thing that was on, what was it, The Simpsons? They took your jobs. These people are taking your jobs, and they are not even understanding when they are out here on the airwaves saying, oh my God, there's so much waste. There's this and these people and then the fraud and whatever. Yeah, there's always waste. There's always fraud. This is a government. You have it everywhere. You cannot get rid of it 100%. It is futile to try. You should try to as much as possible. But there is no such thing as the perfect bureaucracy, the perfect government. And so now they're going all over the television and spreading this whole lie, misinformation about all of these people who are 150 years old, and they are taking that, and DOGE is saving the world. Get the fuck out of here. Caroline Levitt talking about Social Security and what is happening. Here it is. This is what they say they're finding. Here it is.
Fighting fake news reporters all day long here in the Washington, D.C. swamp who are trying to fearmonger the American people into believing.
Pause. The fake news reporters, whatever, that is her attitude towards the Fourth Estate. That is her attitude towards the journalists who are trying to get information, not doing a very good job of it. Not all of them, but some of them really are. But that's her attitude towards the people in that briefing room and to the press, is that they are the enemy of the people, that they are the fake news media, full of talking points, This is appealing to their base, which I think it's awful. I think she is, if not one of the worst press secretaries ever. Talk about DEI in their definition. This person is unqualified for that job and often speaks mistruths, lies, or misinformation. Either she knows they're lies or she is not doing her homework. And by the way, that is up on our channel now. Go click on it. Worst press secretary ever, it says. Worst press sec ever. That's her. But she's out here lying, or either they're giving her misinformation about things. But here she is. Where is she? Right on the Fox News. Right on message. Here she goes.
That this administration is going after their hard-earned tax dollars and their hard-earned Social Security checks. So I want to set the record straight on your show tonight, Sean, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do so. President Trump has directed Elon Musk and the DOGE team to identify fraud at the Social Security Administration. They haven't dug into the books yet, but they suspect that there are tens of millions of deceased people who are receiving fraudulent Social Security payments. And so their goal in going into the Social Security Administration is to identify three things. Number one, to identify duplicate payments and to end them. Number two, to identify payments that are going to deceased people who are no longer living and should no longer be receiving that money. And number three, to protect the integrity of this system for hardworking Americans who have been paying into it their entire lives. So rest assured to all of the people watching your show tonight, if you paid into the system, honestly, you will continue to receive your Social Security checks. Do not buy into the lies from the legacy fake news media who are trying to fear you and scare you into believing otherwise. This is what we've seen them do about President Trump for years with every promise that he has made. And he's going in there to protect your hard-earned money. That is the ultimate goal.
Where do I start? Where do I start with her and the lies after lie in the cadence? There are millions of people, millions getting checks who shouldn't be getting them, and we are going to protect you. Rest assured, the fake news media is lying that you're not going to get your Social Security checked. We are here to protect you. We're here to save your money. Girl. That's what someone needs to do. Girl, look. Let me explain to you guys what so I'm just going to show you what this person who has figured it out, right? I like to go to the people. I love to go to social media. People are getting information from there. And then I'm going to give you some fact checks, okay? So these people are not 150 years old. Now, look, I'm sure there is some fraud. I'm sure there's waste. Don't get me wrong. But not to the level that they are saying and pretending. And just remember how many millions upon millions of people, checks, all kinds of things that the Social Security Administration does. that they service. Even if you have, I'll explain when I get to the PolitiFact, but this is what's really, really going on that this TikToker has gotten to the bottom of. Watch.
Saying that there are people on Social Security that are 150 years old. So basically, the coding language that is used is COBOL. COBOL, Common Business Oriented Language. So basically, if there is no date, it defaults to 1875. Quick, 2025 minus 1875, 150. 150. That's where they got 150 from. Because they don't know how to read the fucking code. It's almost like they're fucking unqualified.
So if the computer can't read the date, it automatically defaults to a certain date. Maybe it's a glitch, maybe it's whatever. And that's what he believes is giving you some of that stuff. Donna W is right. It sounds good to their base. They do not read. Just listen to the sound bites on Fox. Amen. So let's pull up the PolitiFact here, okay? Let's come on. Let's educate some people here. Are 150-year-old Americans receiving Social Security checks, as Elon Musk said? Okay, this is according to PolitiFact. Here's the thing. In a closely watched Oval Office event, it then explains what happened, that they're cutting all this spending. An example of his work so far, just go up a little bit, please. Okay. So the U.S. has roughly 100,000 centenarians, according to the Pew Research Center for whatever. People, none of them older than 114 years old. The oldest documented age of the modern times 122. That's according to Guinness. We checked with experts on Social Security, and they offered 2 key points on the context of Musk's comments. Okay, let's go. Okay. Government databases may code someone as 150 years old for reasons peculiar to the large and complex Social Security database. Improper payments are a long-standing concern for the agency, though they represent a small share of all payments. The White House did not provide any additional information on what Musk found. Why 150-year-old figures may exist in the Social Security system. Social media commenters came up with the possible explanation: 150-year-old age, and experts who have worked closely with the administration, the Social Security Administration, found PolitiFact it was plausible. Under an international standard called ISO 8601, a missing value for a data is coded as May 20, 1875, because that was the date of an international standards setting conference held in Paris known as the Convention de Maitre. For that reason, under some coding systems, a missing value for a date will default to 1875, which in the year 2025 produces a round figure of 150. Some people, particularly some immigrants, really don't know their exact birth date, so there would have to be some alternative means of verification, said C.E. Eugene, a fellow at the Urban Institute, a think tank, and a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Treasury during the Reagan administration. Another possibility is that the beneficiary's record in the system may have multiple fields for birth dates, one of which is missing data because it is not needed for calculations. Some records may have missing codes, while others may have conflicting information on age or date of birth. So the staff will have created queries to determine which fields are actually used. Overpayments are a problem. Beyond this question of 150, of course, it's overpayment. Okay, this is the thing. The sheer scope, listen to me. The sheer scope of the agency's payments, over $1 trillion a year, means that even a tiny fraction of mistakes adds up quickly. Okay? And so that's like, in some instances, a rounding error. Now, I'm not saying that that's right, but when they give you that number, it's not telling you the entire story. Between fiscal years 2015 and 2022, which includes Trump's first presidency, The Social Security Administration sent almost $71.8 billion in improper payments. That's according to a July 2024 agency inspector general report. The inspector general's office called improper payments a long-standing challenge. This is nothing new. It's not like they're reinventing the wheel. It's not like that they are actually creating electric cars in a gas car era. This is nothing new and could be fixed through elected officials and governmental means. The Social Security Advisory Board, a group of outside experts, has regularly issued bipartisan recommendations to improve the agency's accuracy records for payments, such as shifting death data collection to the Treasury. So, pardon me. What I'm trying to tell you here is that it is easy to manipulate people to think that they are discovering something new and that they have uncovered millions and millions of dollars of waste and fraud. People already, when someone would take this thing, if someone takes this and goes, this is what we found. If I was the president, I'd be like, y'all, what? We already knew this. We knew this. We've been working on this forever. It's not as easy. Hey, this is what Miss Johnson would do, who'd been working there forever. She would take her bifocals and say, baby, let me show you something here. Okay, so look, back in such and such and such and such, and then there's the code, and then there's this. But we can't get anything done because we can't do this because the folks in Washington are so busy fighting. And so we've tried to fix this. So we're doing everything that we can do here. There have been recommendations, but they won't allow it in the DC and blah, 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 blah. And then a Republican comes in. So baby, let me just show you. And we know this. Okay. Now, if you want to help us out, that's great. I want you to be able to help us out, but don't come in here acting like this is something new. And that you just uncovered something. Honey, babe, we know. Now you want me to show you how you can fix it? I've been telling them this for years. But you fired her. Come on now. Y'all think I'm kidding. You think I don't know what I'm talking about. I hope they uncover and help some things, but do you have to take all these people's jobs? Now, this is what Representative Cesar is saying. What he is saying, I'm not saying this. The Don Lemon Show is not saying this, but he believes that a lot of this is happening because the people in charge of DOGE don't want to be investigated. And that they are, in essence, lining their own pockets. This is the reporting, and this is, let the representative say, it's going to come right out of his mouth. Here it is.
Since it seems that you're answering the questions that everyone knows the answer to, do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that inspector general?
I believe he was also fired.
Also fired. At least 5 inspector generals that were looking into Elon Musk's companies were fired by the Trump-Musk administration. These inspector generals who are independent, protected by law, they are the people that find the waste, fraud, and abuse and found many of the cases of waste, fraud, and abuse that have been brought up today, fired because they were looking into Elon Musk. At the NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board, which is supposed to protect workers from getting their unions busted by folks like Elon Musk, made functionally broken by the so-called Department of Government Efficiency that really is the Department of Government Efficiency for Elon Musk, not for you. His own contracts. Again, I'll ask you, Mr. Talcove, do you know how much money a day Mr. Musk will receive from the federal government for his contracts?
No.
The answer is $8 million a day. Just last year, Elon Musk was promised $3 billion from close to 100 contracts with the federal government. Ms. Royal, do you know how much the average person in this country who survives on Social Security, one of our seniors who's worked their entire life, about how much they have to survive on a day?
I do not.
$65 a day. We're not looking into Elon Musk's $8 million a day. This subcommittee, chaired by Marjorie Taylor Greene and the House Republicans, is looking into your grandmother's $65 a day.
$65 a day. Jasmine Crockett tweeting this about what's going on. Jasmine Crockett writes on Twitter, there is an immigrant taking people's jobs. His name is Elon Musk. He is snatching farms, government jobs, even those in which they manage our Social Security. And definitely those jobs are to root out fraud inspector generals and those that are keeping us safe, FAA, Meals on Wheels workers, Head Start, and the list goes on. So I'll be the bigger person and admit to MAGA that I was wrong when I said immigrants wouldn't take our jobs. You were 1,000% correct. Jasmine Crockett. She believes that there is an immigrant taking people's jobs, and she says his name is Elon Musk. Here's Melanie D'Arijo on Trump's Daytona stunt, because these are the people who are supposed to be saving money, but they're doing laps. A billionaire spending millions in taxpayer funds for a publicity stunt that offers no value to Americans while they drive in circles is a perfect metaphor for the Trump administration. Here's an American speaking out about how expensive it looks to go to Daytona. Writing, this shit looks expensive. Where is DOGE? So, just imagine though, the Democrat doing that. I'm not saying, look, if you're campaigning and all, I'm like, hey, get out there. It's good publicity. It's good marketing, but there is a response to it that does not come off as whiny. Man, that would make so much money on media training in Washington, D.C. for Democrats. Wow. You guys are so bad at this. Jessica Tarlov is at least trying to fight the good fight over on the Fox News.
And you say if Joe Biden had done this, if Joe Biden had shown up at the Daytona 500 while there were people living under emergency declarations and passing away in Georgia, a tree fell into a guy's house and ended up killing him.
Do you think this is a fair comparison?
Oh my God.
That you're
Why?
taking?
Oh
You're
my
taking.
God.
This is not a hurricane event. You're talking about storm. So he needs to respond to every single death.
No.
Then he wouldn't be president.
Well, he needs to, I think, say something when the whole point was criticizing Joe Biden for absolutely everything that he ever did. I mean,
Because
you
he
said
never
that
did anything. Start with
really?
North Carolina.
That's not true.
He never did a
We've
thing.
gone through it multiple times about how quickly he signed emergency declarations.
How about Palestine? How about East Palestine?
How about you just say
How about
that
I just
maybe
say
you
no?
shouldn't be driving around a race car track when this is going on?
No.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Looks like something Putin would do, Power Dynamics for Life says. I think she has a point, but I think at some point you come off sounding whiny. You got to know how to do it properly. And the Democrats need an ecosystem like what Jesse Waters was talking about. someone does one thing and then they repeat it on conservative media, and then they repeat all over to their constituents, and then they go on Fox News, and they can, like, the Democrats don't have that. And the people are pissed about it. I went out there yesterday. There was a rally right near where I live. And I think this man is right. Watch.
Interview?
It's cold. Why are you out here?
Why isn't everybody out here? Because the government has capitulated. The government has capitulated to a few billionaires. Is what it's done. The country's being raped. We're giving away all of our power just, voluntarily is what's happening, and it's really scary times for most of the country and the world.
What do you want from Congress or Senate?
I want the Congress to stand up. I want them to look at the Constitution, do what they've been elected to do, be independent, have an independent voice, and represent the people, not just bow down to an individual, and certainly protect people from raping and pillaging our information, our privacy, our rights. There are no more than we're giving away our protections, not just for you and me, but for everybody else that we know.
Obviously, your ire is with what's happening with Donald Trump and Elon Musk, but how do you feel about the Democrats? What do you think they should be doing?
Well, I mean, my ire is there's a lot of ire. What should the Democrats be doing? Being stronger, bringing guns to the right fight, and not knives, and not quibbling amongst themselves. But you know what? I get it. I'm a Democrat, so I fucking get it. There's a lot of constituencies, so it's really difficult. However, now is a crisis, and we need to really act, be very, very vocal, not mince words, and be very, very present. Don't mince words. Don't be so polite. Don't be so holy. What are you bowing down to? What sort of propriety are you trying to pretend? Like the government is still really speak your fucking mind and do it loudly. That's what I want.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
I love it when people get so upset and they just really say what's on their mind right at the end, right? What kind of propriety? What kind of? Oh, look, just speak your fucking mind. That's what I mean. So look, I hate to beat up on Democrats, but I'm just saying the truth is the truth is the truth is the truth. And here's what the kind of people I would have standing around me are the people who've had to deal with this. This is Marjorie Jones. She worked at the such and such for 30 years and blah, blah, blah. And now she is without pension. She's without whatever. This is such and such who worked for USAID and took a mission over to Africa to see the work that USAID was doing. And he saw how they were saving babies' lives, babies born with HIV, blah, 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 right? And this, I want you to hear, we're going to bring him up here, the story of this person, young man, or whomever it is, who was on that plane that crashed, landed in Canada while your president and your transportation secretary were asleep at the wheel and firing people at the FAA. Play it.
Yeah, good morning. It's been an interesting last 24 hours for sure. To be honest, I didn't really notice anything wrong until the moment we hit the ground. Other people were saying they might have. I'm not really sure what, but for me, it was just kind of like the wheels touched down, and then all of a sudden, I was in the window seat on the looker's left side, and then all of a sudden, I just remember being fully sideways, and I was looking down and just seeing like sparks and flames and whatever was grinding against the ground. And then it happened pretty dang quick, and we were just upside down hanging from our seatbelts.
Pete, we are so glad you're okay this morning. And you described it as like bats hanging from the roof of a cave. You were all dangling effectively upside down in your seatbelts. Can you describe what was going through your mind in that moment, and then how quickly and how you were able to get yourself out of the plane?
Yeah, so obviously we ended up upside down, and everyone was wearing their seatbelts as they should have been, including myself. And we just got to a stop, and yeah, I remember just hanging there, and me and the lady next to me, we got out pretty quick, and we're kind of able to just like unclip like you would, and then just kind of lower ourselves to be on the ground, which was the roof, I guess. And then I was at the window, but we were told, we did it really quickly, like within like stopping, we like both immediately like kind of got our bearings, unclipped, got down, and then they announced not to get out of their seats, so people were hanging there for I can't remember how long, but just about a minute, and then they were like, okay, like get down. And at that point people were feeling pretty frantic, and but everyone was obviously able to get down. Most people needed help, I think, from someone who had already got down. And then we kind of just slowly moved off the plane. It was seemed pretty organized. Didn't seem like everyone like got off in a pretty orderly fashion. It didn't seem too insane once like the plane had stopped and everyone realized for the most part they were okay, because no one was seriously injured.
Well, Pete,
Harrowing
we're so
story.
glad that you're
Thank you, guys.
okay.
Thank you,
And
guys.
just
I'm glad that everyone is on that plane is okay. I'm glad that young man is okay. But those are the kind of stories you need to tell people. And I don't understand what the folks in government are doing right now if they're not telling these stories. I don't know. Also, you're right. Wear your seatbelt. But let me just leave you. And I haven't asked you the entire time that we were here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, okay? And make sure you subscribe, because that's how we stay streaming, and that's how we get to bring you this important, unfiltered, pure news that is not touched by corporate folks. It's not filtered through that. So hit the thumbs up, hit the like. If you're on TikTok and you're watching us live, smash the screen, as they say, with the hearts. Make sure you become a member. It's very reasonable. And make sure you subscribe. That is free. And send the link. See the link where you can become a member? Send that link to everybody you know. They can become a member, or they can just subscribe to the Don Lemon Show. Just make them aware of our show. And also, when you hit the thumbs up button, or you hit the like button, more people become aware. The algorithm, it affects the algorithm. Trust us. If you ever on any streaming show you ever watch, they'll tell you it affects the algorithm. So I want to welcome all of our new members this morning. So welcome to Donna Long. Welcome to the Elimination. Also, welcome to Ms. Wright is welcome to the Elimination. 3 minutes a day says, I hope Elon and Trump make it right for the American people. I do too, because we're all counting on the government to work, but do it properly. Holly Phillips says, become a member today. Holly, you're right. Shelly E., welcome to the Elimination. Share it out, says Tammy Strayling. Share it to people. I appreciate whoever gifted me, by the way, says Metal Mama 1987. We have members who are so dedicated and so amazing that they will gift memberships to folks. Gail D., welcome to the Elimination. I'm glad that you're here. Also, be in tune. Be in tune. I think that's what it is. Thank you for your generous support of independent media. Great job, Don, she says. Thank you all for that. Because we try to get you to learn stuff. Ashia Jones, welcome to the Elimination. Bree Guy 11, welcome. Or Bry Guy 11, welcome to the Elimination. Ray Johnson Bundy, welcome to the Elimination. Melinda Madden, welcome to the Elimination. All of you. Rico Norris has become a YouTube member. Welcome to the Elimination. Holly FAFO became a member. Maria Jackson became a member. So thank you all for becoming a member. I do not miss a day, says Timbo Tech Consulting. It's amazing. The lives are good. People thought I was crazy when I said I wanted to do lives, and now they're asking me, Don, how are you doing this? Because I believe in this channel. I believe in myself, and I believe in you guys. Amanda Belcher, welcome all new members. Amanda is a staunch member. She's in these chat streets every single day. She's in these streams every single day, and we appreciate all of you. I saw some of my members. I think there was a Beth in there. Was it Beth there? Beth, I saw her in there earlier. Collier was in there. Metal Mama 1987, thank you for your support of independent media. Become a member, share it, like the video. Thank you, Metal Mama. And also, if just because you're a member doesn't mean that you're subscribed. You've got to be subscribed as well. And sign up for the notifications. And check out our other content. We have the content up there about Caroline Levitt and some other interesting content as well. Lemonheads Rise Up, says Bit Grease. I agree with you. Now, listen, you guys want to know. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Who's this? Amy Diaz, member for a month, Lemonheads. Best decision was becoming a member. Thank you very much. Mr. Tony NYC, thank you for your support of independent media. Don, biggest issue I have, try to speak facts to people, but they come back with lies, double down. Then there is no moving forward. Am at a loss how to communicate with people who ignore the truth and facts. Sometimes you just got to let people alone. Sometimes you just have to let them find out, Mr. Tony NYC. You just have to let them find it. You can't, don't beat your head and don't beat yourself up. This show is a necessity, says Camille Redina. Thank you. Laurel Camphausen, welcome to the Elimination, and Kathy DePrater. Okay, so let me tell you guys this. You know how, there are young folks, and I've been talking about the press secretary, whatever, not because of her age, but you have to have wisdom, and you have to have a sense of time and the value of things and what people have gone through in a sense of history. You have to value history, you have to value experience, all of those things, and you have to value the youth, right? So I saw this Instagram video and I thought about it because I'm in this category. And if any of you are in this category where you remember things before they were so easy, then you'll understand what I mean and that we have been here before, not quite like this, but it'll give you a little bit of sense of hope that there are some folks like me and like others who know what's going on, who can see around corners, and maybe it'll give you some sense of hope that everything's going to be all right. But I got to tell you, we're in the middle of a constitutional crisis right now. Don't let people are asleep at the wheel. And unless we do something very quickly, it's changing forever. I believe it's changed forever now. They call us the old ones, but we be knowing. Watch this.
Call us the old ones. We were born in the 50s and 60s. We spent our childhood in the 60s and 70s. We studied in the 70s and 80s. We dated and partied in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We got married and explored the world in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We took risks in the 80s and 90s. We stabilized our lives in the 2000s. We became wiser after 2010. And now we're probably walking through the years after 2020. It seems we've lived through several different decades, 2 different centuries, 2 different millennia. We went from operator-connected telephones to video calls with anywhere in the world, from slide projectors to YouTube, from vinyl records to online music, from handwritten letters to emails and WhatsApp, from live radio broadcasts to black and white TV, color TV, and now 3D HD TV. We went to video rental stores, and now we watch Netflix. We witnessed the first computers, punch cards, floppy disks, and now we carry gigabytes and megabytes in our smartphones. As kids, we wore shorts, then bell-bottoms, Oxford pants, bomber jackets, and finally jeans. We avoided polio, meningitis, swine flu, tuberculosis, and now COVID-19. We rode roller skates, tricycles, bicycles, mopeds, petrol or diesel cars, and now we drive hybrids and electric vehicles. Yes, we've been through a lot, but what a life it's been. You could call us specimens, people born in an analog world who grew up in the digital era. We've truly experienced a lot. We're witnesses to everything. Our generation has literally adapted to change. A big round of applause for this entire generation of exceptional people. It will be one of a kind.
Amen, brother. So we're going to be all right, but you got to stay strong. You have to have a stiff spine. You got to have a stiff spine, and you got to be willing to sacrifice something and not give a damn what people think about you. And you have to pressure your elected officials to do something, and do it now. Okay? We're going to be live at 5 p.m. Eastern, live at 5. So you tune in then, and then I have another piece of content that drops at 2 o'clock every single day. So make sure you tune into that. I'll see you live at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on the Don Lemon Show, the Don Lemon channel. I love you for watching. Turn the TV off.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support.